All right, let's see here. We got Trace chats. Add everyone live. So let's see if everybody can go here. We'll get started. Hey guys, for those that don't know me, I'm Satoshi Check. Today we're going to be doing a live stream, and we're going to be talking about all things crypto. So welcome if you're new. Give me one moment here. Let's see. Let's see here. All right. So, give me one moment here. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna wait for the group here. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, should be. Let's see. Screens. Okay. All right. Can everybody see? All right. So everyone that is here with me today, let's go ahead and see where everybody's at in Discord. Okay. Trades chat. Okay, who's do you guys want to use the trades chat today, or would you guys like to use the server general chat? Let's see. We're gonna get started here. All right. So for anyone that wants to talk and has questions today, please feel free to use the trades chat or the server general chat or the executive chat, whichever fits you best. Okay, so going in here, last time I wanted just to make sure you guys could see my screen and kind of go over a few things here. So this is what I was talking about with Deck Screener. Recently, the group has been doing phenomenally well. I want to say that we have some amazing people in our group. If you have not joined our group, I will be putting a link in the description for you guys to come join. We have amazing coaches. You guys got to check this out. So today I'm going to be talking about some of my top picks for this cycle. And also kind of, okay, cool. So, okay. All right. Awesome. So you can see, awesome. Okay. Um, awesome, man. I'm glad. I'm glad that you guys can see me today and get this going. So, today I wanted to talk a little bit about Deck Screener. Now, this is not something that all the time, right? It's not something that you're going to put all your chips in one basket. But just for instance, recently, like, I picked up on a trend, and that was Titcoin, right? And our group did phenomenal, right? I mean, some that held probably got that 2-3x almost. Solid 2x on the swing trade for Titcoin. But what I like to do is come on here to Deck Screener, okay? And this is not something, and I'm going to tell you, like, our group works together, and we have the smartest minds from the group members to the people here working. It's something you don't want to miss out on. We are honorable people, and I can say that from the bottom of my heart. When I got into crypto many years ago, and it was by mistake, and I told this story. I was owed some money. A guy reluctantly I took it, but paid me in Bitcoin. Okay, this guy had got it. He was a friend of mine. We were more acquaintances. He wasn't like a close friend, but he had owed me some money. Ended up, he was like, "Man, look, it's double the call, double what I owe you." You know, he probably paid, you know, less for it at the time. And so he gave me this Bitcoin. This is back 2014. And that's kind of how my journey started. It didn't start right away, but my journey kind of picked up from then. And ever since then, you know, I've lived, I've learned, and there's a lot of different things in the whole crypto universe that it takes time. I was talking to someone in the group recently, and it was about, you know, like expectations. And I wanted to bring this up. I'm big on the psychology of the market as well, and I do believe in setting expectations that are realistic. One thing that I talked to someone about, and I like to employ myself, is over the years, I think I can speak for most people here. Even if you've been in here a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you live and you learn. You have to make mistakes most. I mean, unless you're just the golden perfect person, you know, you have to like learn, make mistakes, and then sometimes even if you made those mistakes, there's still going to be mistakes in the future. No one can be perfect, but I wanted to talk about how sometimes we can sometimes I don't know, the mic sounds like it's not perfect. Mic is choppy. Okay, are you guys hearing me a little bit better now? Okay, here, guys, let me see. Can you guys hear this better for you guys? Let me know if this is better for you guys. The sound quality. Is that better for you guys? Let me know if that's better. Okay, I'm hoping that's better. Sound quality better. We didn't have an issue last time. Wonder what that why that is. Okay, great. Yeah, we don't have to use that. So, anyways, I hope that works. I have a few other headsets, but for today, I'm just gonna go ahead and go without one. And we'll check that out later. So I'm not going to go too deep in what I was saying, but long story short is what we wanted to talk about is taking profits, getting in the habit of taking profits, and kind of what I was hoping for the group this year, and also kind of what I'm seeing in the market currently. Okay, so we did talk about, we've had a few good swing trades, we've had a few good leverage trades, but also there is always the possibility, right, that we come up, we make a lower high on Bitcoin, and we come back down to sweep those lows. And the same thing with Ethereum, right? This may not, you know, monetary policy is still not adjusted, right, to the point where, you know, where we want it yet. And I'm not going to make this video about the macro situation right now, but I do want to make it about finding opportunities, no matter if the market's doing really well, if the market's choppy, or what the case is. So I wanted to kind of take questions from the group. I know a lot of people wanted to, you know, talk, ask questions. So if you had some questions, feel free. I know Frank in the group was talking about this. I had talked about this a few weeks ago. I use Trojan Bot on Solana, and that's when I do some of my meme coin hunting. But it is very volatile, and so it's not something like if you were just to go to Pump Fund and try to set your slippage and try to buy and sell on Pump Fund, it's not going to work out very well due to so many bots, you know, trading faster than humans can. It really is a volatile world. And so I kind of go through these, and, you know, there's certain things I look for in various meme coins. Like, for instance, like, let's go here to Titcoin. If I go here, I'm looking here and I'm seeing, relatively, you do see that the buy volume is higher than the sell volume, meaning there's people holding on to this cryptocurrency. That doesn't necessarily mean automatically that it's a sell, right? Because a meme coin could be early, and in its early stages, you may have kind of one of those equilibriums where there's a lot of buy and sell pressure at the same time. So this is just one thing I wanted to talk about was Dex Screener and how I hunt for some of those swing trades that we've been getting into. One of the ones that I posted some days ago, I feel like it's stuck here pretty well, but you know what? I'll go here and bring it up. And that is Bodify. You even heard Connor, I think, come out and talk about this as well. Now, it is held up pretty well. From our call, it's almost up, almost right now it's about 70% up from our call. And this is, an AI, kind of like an AI play here. They do stuff with media. They've had some good advertising. And so this is one of those ones that like I'll use because it's on Solana. I'll use my Telegram app, and I'm going to get into that with the group, but I just want some clarity as if we'll be using the Trojan bot or not. But that is a little bit about Dex Screener. I go in here, I kind of look for what's trending, and with the bot, you're able to get in and get out, right? And so a lot of times I'll use this and I'll try to pick up on a trend. And we all know Peanut's done fairly well, but I'll pick up on a trend on some of these lower market cap meme coins. This one I believe is going to do very good, guys. It's already done super good. The valuation is very low still. I think this one in the heat of the bull run is still got some X's in it. This is obviously I can't put like 10 swing trades out to the group, but I will be putting some more. I do believe this meme coin has a very good community and will do very well. Right here, Frog, might just call it Frog, but yeah, they have a good community, tier 1 listings. I am getting some news that Dog is going to be listed on a tier 1 exchange, but the only thing that I don't like about Dog is it does have kind of like that high supply, like Turbo, which kind of, and it is picking up some volume for those that are interested. But as you see, like kind of, you see this, I don't know if this is going to be, this might be similar, but the actual Dog, yeah, Bitcoin, I believe it's this one. Yeah, it's this one here. This one is gaining some attention and possibly getting a sex listing soon. I don't like it as much. It's got a fair volume, but the 100 billion coins I'm not a huge fan of. And not because, like, when I'm looking at a meme coin, it's like when a meme coin has a 1 billion, it seems like everybody's kind of made that their standard for meme coins. It's a $1 billion valuation or 1 billion tokens in circulation. And I like that a lot better because it doesn't take as much money to move the price. Whenever you have more tokens in circulation, it's going to take more money to move the price. And hence, like Turbo. Turbo has, I believe, 60 to 69 billion tokens in circulation. So when I'm thinking, like, am I going to get a 30x off of Turbo? I bought Turbo when it first came out. And so I made a good amount off Turbo. I did like a 3x on Turbo, or 4x on Turbo before I sold, 3x on Turbo before I sold. But with so many tokens in circulation, it's, it all depends, right? If the liquidity goes there, all bets are off and you can actually, get some of those X's there. But I tend to go for community meme coins that, have a 1 billion token supply or under, especially for swing trades, because it does not take that much liquidity to get those prices up. So I know everybody voted for today's time. And I'm going to just go into some things that I've been thinking about. I know some people are going to watch this later, so that's, totally cool. Right here is Bitcoin. In the future, I had somebody reach out and talk about like some demo trading. I might set that up. But I'm not, I'm just looking at it here. We've had actually a fair balance. We dropped into like 103. This is in US dollars. We dropped into the 103,000, I believe late last night, and actually just about 30 minutes, 45 minutes ago. I want to talk about a few easy things that, like, say if I was new, okay, like completely new, I knew absolutely nothing, and I just wanted to make some good decisions, okay? I just wanted to make some good decisions about trading. There's a few very simple, okay, things that I like to look at to break things down. Like if you looked at this chart, you may be like, oh, like the chop zone and the RSI and, the MACD. One thing is I like to look at is shit on ETH at 48, should have waited a bit this morning, RIP. So I was actually talking about ETH and how there is a chance that we even come back down to revisit lower lows than we saw previous already this cycle. And there is a chance that we can go lower. And that's what I want everybody to be prepared for in this group. And I know that sounds like cliche. You're like, oh, Satoshi check, we're at 105 G's, 104 and a half. Like, what are you talking about? No, there is still a great possibility that Ethereum, let me go here. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. There's a good chance. So there you go. It looks like you should be up a little bit, though, since then. And there's a good chance, though, that ETH can revisit these lows. I'm going to bring up my trading view chart, but I was looking at this earlier and kind of dissecting of like where we're at right now. Bitcoin, right, if it does not come up and make that a higher high, right, we're still in that trend of making lower highs, right? And so there's always a possibility that we can come in and sweep the lows even with ETH. And you know what? It was not sell the news when ETH got that Pectra upgrade. That absolutely, it just coincided with the whole, it was very strange how that happened, right? Like ETH made the Pectra upgrade, the risk V, and at the same exact time, the whole market moved. Pretty interesting, but, and it kind of coincided with the UK-US trade deal. But yes, there is absolutely a chance that we come back on Bitcoin and ETH to kind of revisit those lows. And that's all due to central bank monetary policy. And the one thing is quantitative easing, right? So we've had the Federal Reserve of the United States come out and say, they basically, in other words, I shared this with the group, but there was one key thing that I picked out, okay, one is some people may view Doge, right, the Department of Government Efficiency, are they really going to come out and save the government money? I know that you're like, well, where are you getting with this? So are they going to save the government money? If so, how much? Okay. Are the layoffs and the unemployment soft data going to roll into the hard data, right? Because before the tariffs hit, you're going to see a mass exodus to grab as much stuff, import as much stuff, right, as people get ready for the tariff impact. So businesses are going to stock up. Everybody's going to stock up, which can inflate the GDP numbers, right? And some of the projections. And some of those projections were lower, but they came in higher, I believe, due to the tariff uncertainty where some of those manufacturers were grabbing up some stuff. But one thing I picked up from the Federal Reserve meeting, and guys, I mean, and we have to, look at this realistically, and we're going to go into profit taking here, is that when the Federal Reserve, okay, says that, you know, they were asked about unemployment. Okay, one of the big news articles, and not just one article, but lots of articles, is coming out and talking about unemployment. Okay, unemployment in the U.S. and projections. And I shared this with the group on Fred. And if you can look at the projections of unemployment, it is in an upward trajectory. When the Fed was asked, what would you guys do in response if the unemployment numbers were to rise, right? So we're dealing with sticky inflation. The word stagflation is coming out. They said, what would be your response, right? And this uncertainty, right? Because say the U.S. and China does not work out, and I know there's some word that, they're working out some things here, but let's say, oh, awesome. I'd love for you guys to ask as many questions as you want, and they don't have to be on topic. I'm here for you guys. Is the unemployment data. So if we get bad unemployment data, they were asked, well, what would you do? Well, they referred to 2024. When there was an uptick in unemployment in 2024, we had our rate cut. I truly believe if there's an uptick in unemployment and unemployment goes up due to tariff uncertainty, due to businesses cutting back, we've already seen major industries laying off people. We've already seen Doge laying off people from federal agencies, cutting spending. Well, if those numbers rise past their expectations, I believe the Federal Reserve will react very fastly, and they will. I truly believe they will cut rates to zero. And there is a graph in our Discord on Fred about the unemployment numbers and the trajectory we are on. And so today I wanted to talk about not the macro, but some of the top picks that I have today. Okay, for my portfolio, as well as some of the listeners here today. And like I said, if you're not in our Discord, I am going to put a link to our Discord. Come join us. I mean, we have traders that are absolutely killing it on a day-to-day. We do leverage trading. We have strategy school. We have, you name it, we've got it, from TA, coach questions, insights, strategy schools where you can learn and even build your own various trading strategies. Some really intelligent people there. Just a lot going on. Very great group. Okay, so I am going to go on here and kind of look into what I am. I'll tell you, disclose of my holdings, and also kind of tell you some cryptocurrencies that I'm looking at for this cycle. Okay, so obviously you guys have heard, and I say obviously for my group, but maybe if you're new, one of my biggest bets is Axelar. And I'm going to get into why. And I'm going to get into why I believe this is a safer. Nothing is guaranteed in crypto. But one thing is guaranteed in crypto. There's going to be cryptocurrencies that fall off the face of this earth like they never existed. In my whole time in crypto, that has always been the case until I'm proven wrong. There is a lot of cryptocurrencies that are just total junk. I mean, that aren't going to be here. Axelar to me is not one of those. I see Axelar being here for the long run, especially with the integrations Axelar's got. About theta, and I have, okay. Okay, so yeah, let's look at that. So I'm going to go into that right now. So we just got a request here. So one of my largest holdings in the altcoin sector is Axelar. Point being, the reason why is this right here, and I'm not going to spend too long on it, but we've got Polychain, Dragonfly Capital. These two names alone almost solidify it. Now, that doesn't mean that the cryptocurrency, will stay around, but They also, when the market was terrible, got a $30 million investment and an ETF filing. Canary Capital filed an Axelar ETF. We've got some of the biggest names in the industry here. Not going to spend too long, but these are some of the tags. Yeah, look at the ecosystems. I mean, Mantle, Polkadot, Say, Scroll, Linea, Base, ETH, Avalanche. They're partnered with Sui, XRP Ledger. I mean, look at this. Polygon, Optimism, Avalanche, Blast, Phantom, Base, Kava, Celo, Scroll. You name it, they do it. They are a DeFi platform, dApp builder, RWA, and they connect the most blockchains out of any interop. Now, let's go to Theta. So this has actually been one. And so we got rank 82. Oh, no, it just went to 83. Okay, so let's check Theta out and do a deep dive on it. That's a request, and I'd love to do it. Okay, look at that, 7.26, 7.26% up on the day. So if I'm going to be looking at Theta, I don't own any Theta, but let's look at it. And so I'm going to look at this as if I want to buy this cryptocurrency, and I'm going to vet it just from this website alone. Okay, so let's just check out the fundraising. Let's see what it came up with. Okay, so look at this, $100 million. Okay. Another $20 million, another $12 million, a pre-seed for $1 million. Looking at the names, so this is one thing you got to look at. So on the pre-seed or the private, they are up about 15x already on their investment. So that's one thing I like to look at. Like with Axelar, they're not up on their investment. I think Seed B, I think the angel or the pre-seed investors are up. They're up on Axelar, but CB investors paid 50 cents a share. Looking here, they paid 6 cents, almost 7 cents a share. So they're up 15x. So that's just always something to keep in mind here. Okay, so we do have a fair amount of money. I mean, 100 million is no joke. Let's go ahead and look here look at the overview here. So it is on the Ethereum blockchain. It is in the DePIN narrative. Okay, absolutely. And I have heard of Theta. And so we got EVM, DePIN, cloud services. So heavily DePIN based. Okay, now let's kind of look at this. All-time high market cap was 16.17 billion, and right now it's almost at $1 billion market cap. Okay, so I got here so we've got a high of $16.17. Yeah, that was last. I was about to say that's not this cycle. Last cycle we had a high of 16.17 on Theta. I remember everybody. I didn't get into this one. I was not into this last cycle, but I did have some friends into Theta. I have not been up to date on Theta. For those that maybe have seen some more integrations, but let's go here. Okay, so this is what I like. I'm going to be honest with you. Theta's been around. Okay, the max supply is 1 billion. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, is being that it's been around most of the times, unless they're new investments, okay, right? Like new investments, which absolutely could be. We could go back and look at when these were made. Look at this. So this was made in 2017, 2023. So good chance. So look, their all-time high on their ROI was 241x. Odds are the investors may already be out of this cryptocurrency, already took profits. What I love is the tokenomics of Theta. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm looking at it, 1 billion supply, 1 billion in circulation. I love that. Great tokenomics and a great trading volume. I think this is an absolutely decent pick here. There's a great amount of volume in Theta, great tokenomics. So absolutely, man, that definitely looks like one. I'm glad I asked the group, like, bring up some other, cryptocurrencies. I love to talk about whether they're old, new, um, unemployment. Oh, okay. So I'll post this in the thread, but I'm going to go in here and read something to you guys here. And but back on Theta, I love Theta for the tokenomics. It did extremely well last cycle, and it looks like possibly a lot of those initial investors are out. So I read that I put this out to our group, and so if you want to be a part of our group, this is the type of information you're going to get, and you're going to get way more than this. This is just some stuff that I put out. Okay, so I'm going to read just for a moment. So this was my analysis on the Federal Open Market Committee. So I wrote here, the committee statement reflects a cautious yet balanced approach to monetary policy amid, let's see here, amid a complex economic landscape as of May 2025. Economic activity is expanding at a solid pace despite fluctuations in net exports, and the labor market remains strong. So keep that in mind. Labor market remains strong at this time. With the unemployment rate stabilizing at a low level consistent with the chart from earlier, I had posted the chart, which showed long-term unemployment 27 weeks and over, dropping from a peak of 7 million to around 4 million by 2025. Inflation, however, remains somewhat high above the FOMC's 2% target, pointing to ongoing price pressures. The committee notes increased uncertainty. That is a huge word. That's what markets do not like. It's just that word of uncertainty because they don't know. Okay, so uncertainty in the economic outlook with risks to both maximum employment and growing concerns about both higher unemployment and higher inflation. The decision to keep the federal funds rate at 4.25% and 4.5% shows the FOMC is taking a wait and see stance, right? We've all heard of that, Powell sitting on his hands type of stance. Likely due to mixed signals. Let's see here. This rate level suggests the Fed isn't ready to ease policy. There's another key, is not ready. So this rate level suggests that they are not ready to ease policy, as might happen if unemployment, okay, here we go, if unemployment were surging. As discussed in the earlier discussion about rapid rate cuts, nor are they tightening further, which could risk slowing the economy. The ongoing reduction of the Fed's balance sheet, Treasury securities, agency debt, and mortgage-backed securities indicates they are still unwinding pandemic-era stimulus to normalize policy while addressing inflation moving forward. The FOMC stresses they will assess incoming data on labor market conditions, inflation pressures, expectations, and global developments before adjusting the federal funds rate. Okay, so this is what I posted that I talked about this. So I said, reflecting on the FOMC is not all doom and gloom. After all, after long paragraphs discussing what happened, and we went even more in depth, but after what happened, the unemployment chart, and various other factors of the meeting, I reflected on. 2024. During 2024 in the USA, unemployment went up substantially within a 6 to 8 month time frame. This was enough to startle nerves with the Federal Reserve. One key, and I put the key there, right? We want the key. Question was asked about how the Fed would handle unemployment if the numbers were to trend up. And I put a chart there showing the trajectory of unemployment is looking to trend up. So referring to the trajectory in the graph above, Powell answered the question regarding unemployment, referring to the outcome in 2024, which led to rate cuts. I really believe if unemployment data follows the above trajectory and worsens, the Fed will not just cut rates, but will cut rates rapidly and possibly to zero, as seen with the cliff drop noted in the picture given, which gave way to massive upside in the market during this time, previous, like during COVID, during the Fed bailout. So those are a few things. I will post that for those that may not see that in my coaching section. But let's go here to trade chats. Okay, so there's Theta. Absolutely, man. I think that's a solid pick all the way around. First of all, you're dealing with cryptocurrency that's within the top 100. I've gone over this. We're watching ETH dip a little bit. One thing is a rotation. I've talked to a lot of people about various rotations. In the past, it was a rotation from Bitcoin. So we would take our Bitcoin, we would sell our Bitcoin, and then we would rotate it into ETH, altcoins, and it would go, usually with large cap, mid caps, low caps, niche. So niches would run, whether you say gaming, like for this cycle, I have a large bet on RWAs. One of our group, okay, for instance, our group is already on this. Our group did a 2x already off of our DCA on Aerodrome. We did a 2x. We did almost a 2x on Cpool, Clearpool Finance. I love what Clearpool's doing. Absolutely. So we have a lot of great swing trades. So here's some of I'm going to go to my low cap bet. I try this cycle. I've taken a little bit less risk. When I noticed the overall downtrend, not in the larger picture, but in the recent months, starting in January, if you were in our group, I was telling our group months ago, I mean, it feels like months, it was at least over a month ago or more, to keep sidelining cash. I was like, guys, sideline some cash, sideline some cash, sideline some cash. Because altcoins were just absolutely bleeding out, and relative to BTC. And so this is Cpool. And what you'll see here is this chart right here. So we had a high of almost 60 cents. Our team was DCAing right around here. Look at that. Look at that baseline. Look at that baseline through that chart. I mean, you obviously got a little weight, some candles here, but generally that baseline right around, that's about the most points. So right around that 10 cents mark, we were DCAing. That almost, Cpool almost got to 20 cents. Now looking at Cpool, the one thing I like is it's a low market cap project. It doesn't have a whole lot of total supply out there. So it has the majority of its max supply out there, and I'm okay with that, okay? It's got 76% of their max supply out there out of 1 billion. I am totally okay with that, okay? And it's doing real things, right? It's doing real things in the market. I think it's almost had 700 million, I believe, originated loans. And this is what I also like. Tier 1 exchanges like BitGet, Kraken, we've got a lot of exposure. KuCoin, Bybit, and I truly believe we're going to see a Binance listing on Cpool. So if you look at the fundraising, they've had a fair amount of fundraising, but they have, look, Arrington XRP Capital, Wintermute. I know that's going to ring some bells. People are going to be like, Wintermute, right? Like, you guys have heard some things about Wintermute. But yeah, no, this is one of my bets, guys, Clearpool, for this cycle. I like it because it's a low market cap cryptocurrency. It's got a 1 billion total supply with 76% circulating, not horrible tokenomics. It has had a lot of Twitter exposure. The self-marketing has been very good. it has aligned itself with some key players in the industry, and I like that a lot about Clearpool for that. And also, this is another one that I just brought up to my to the group that I really like a lot. Is no 0 1. Okay, maybe it wants me to. So here we go. DAI. Okay, so this one, you people were like, "Oh man, it's done. It's done for." When ETH was performing horribly, DAI just, oh man, it took a beating. When ETH was just getting beat down, this was, it's comparable to Tau. It's not exactly the same thing, of course. This is on a proof of stake model, but it is on NVIDIA's AI accelerator. The only thing, a lot of people nowadays, when they're looking at cryptocurrencies, sometimes ETH tokens, if you're someone that may not have a lot of cash flow when the market's busy, you're like, hey, I don't want to pay $100, $200, 100, or not 100, but like maybe like $30 for fees. I get that. But it's not a lot in the whole grand scheme of things. But like, Alex Becker just came out and talked about, AI coins. This has a $13 million market cap. And this is the one thing about DAI is that it's going to be one of those ones, in my opinion, that's going to be a swing trade. It's not something that I'm going to sit on. But looking at it, look at the tokenomics. It does not have very good tokenomics, being that it's got a 1 billion supply and there's not a lot circulating there. Now, some can argue, obviously that, they can use for funding, building the project. They have had recognition. Like I said, they have a good Twitter following. They have, they're on the NVIDIA AI accelerator, and they are the first ETH agent, AI agent platform on Ethereum. And they have a decent amount of trading volume, about 1.75 million. Now, when I sold, I didn't get it at the top. I think I sold around here, 86, 87 cents. It went up to $1.10, or about that, yeah, $1.11. And this was this year. And so it's taken a beating. But as you see here, it's kind of, got that leg up with the market. This one I'm looking at, and I'm going to keep looking at for a swing trade. Because, honestly, guys, like with a low circulating supply like this, it would be a great trade I'm looking at, to get a 2 or 3x here, right? Like from 13 cents to maybe like 40, 50 cents would not be so bad. Looking at some of the trend line here. So that's something I'm looking at as a swing trade for the group. But I'm also looking at a lot of other things. And I wanted to go here before I end today. I know a lot of people kind of watch, when they get time. It's Sunday. It's Mother's Day, guys. And, happy Mother's Day to all those out there from my heart. You guys, I know we got mothers in the group. Happy Mother's Day. We wouldn't be here without you guys. So shout out to all the moms out there. So I know a lot of people are with their moms, and those that can't be. My heart's out to all of you guys. But let's, going in, just a few last things here is I like to use crypto bubbles. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. I'm sure a lot of people are, but maybe for someone new that's just checking out some things, crypto bubbles I like to, just use to get, a general consensus of what's going on. Let's look at Caspa. Caspa has recently closed above key levels and hopefully flip this 10 cents into support. Okay. Caspa is, I have a large holding in Caspa as a disclosure. I do own a lot of Caspa. I am very bullish on Caspa for a lot of different reasons. And the volume is absolutely great, guys. Volume's looking really great on Caspa. So going in, I wanted to talk about what the group is coming up. I'm going to be talking to some of the group members and some of the staff about doing meme coin trading with bots. And even if not, we're going to do just like we did, and we're going to keep getting in the habit. And you don't have to, right? This is just what I found to be successful. Is when I first got in, I wanted to hold every cryptocurrency that I had, right? Like I wanted to hold it for dear life. I'm like, no, don't sell it yet. It'll go higher. Right? And I couldn't tell you how much money I lost. And so I recommended this to one of the guys that I was talking to last night in our Discord, and I said, set some money aside and use it to say for a swing trade, okay? And get in the habit of selling. Get in the habit of taking profit. Use that money and take profit. It's okay. Like for me, I have not sold any of my Axelar. I have not sold any of my Caspa. I have not sold any of my Bitcoin. I have not sold any of my Solana. Now, I did sell some. Now, my Sui, I have sold some. But like for swing trade, in the habit of buying and selling. And also in future videos, I'm going to have my chart up here of where I set goals for myself, short-term achievable goals. Okay, this is one thing that I have learned that has helped me the most in the market is setting short-term achievable goals. And, not only does it help you, is it helps you be realistic and be prepared. I stress not over diversifying. So for me, I have the core portfolio, and yes, everything that I am going to be DCAing in, and yes, I'm going to be posting some new DCA orders. That's my core portfolio, the portfolio that I'm going to sit on until, I'm going to say, hey, maybe guys, I'm taking 15% profit here. I'm going to take some profit here. But this is my core portfolio that I'm okay with holding. And then I'm going to have a side bag. And this is going to be that I use for my swing trades. Like for instance, with Bitcoin, you could have 2x that on the call, or you could have 3x that. So we called it at 2 cents. It went up to almost 8 cents. So 2, 4, 6. That was almost like a 3x, almost a 3x call. But it's okay if you took profit after a 2x, right? Like that's okay. And so those are some of the things I'm going to be looking at. Now, take in mind, Deck Screener, I'm on this for you guys 24/7. And it's also something that, you don't want to just go on here and buy stuff, because stuff will absolutely tank to zero in a heartbeat. I mean, look at that 27%, in 5 minutes. So it's not something you just want to jump on here, not just if you're new, but, you don't want to just jump on here and throw money in, because some of these cryptocurrencies won't make it to a SEX or even, a lower rated exchange. But I'm combing through this for a lot of swing trades. Recently, we've had a lot of leverage trades, super successful leverage trades, guys. You guys are killing it, by the way. And thank you for so much trust, by the way. I mean, this group, thank you. Super shout out for the group that's gave so much faith to me, man. You guys putting 50 X's and 75 X's on my trades. I'm glad you guys have that faith in me. I don't even, you guys definitely got the faith there, but I don't recommend such high leverage. But going here, a few things before we go is just some ones that I'm currently looking at for the cycle is 101 for a swing trade. It's at a great price right now, even being 14% up. On a small cryptocurrency like this, it can move super fast. So you're definitely going to, if you're going to get into this swing trade, my suggestion, not financial advice, is to keep an eye on it, set a target. So set a target that you're willing to sell and execute on that target. Some other cryptocurrencies that I am looking at is Aerodrome. So let's go to Aerodrome Finance. Aerodrome has also been on Grayscale's suite of investments, or say suite. I told you guys I talked to Grayscale. This one has, look at the volume, okay? The volume is very, very consistent. It also got a listing along with Moonwell, which is also one of my holdings and also one of Connor's holdings. It is one of Base's biggest dexes, and the current supply, circulating supply, is about 50%. It doesn't worry me too much. They did do, they locked away some of their supply, and I believe it was called Flight School, and they're doing a lot. But it is the biggest dex on Base, doing a lot of big things. As far as like fundraising goes, this is one of my long-term holds, and I will be alerting the group to kind of when I'm going to be taking profit. So it's undisclosed here, but this is actually one of my long-term holds. So I have Seapool, Aerodrome, Axelar. Those are 3 core, and CAS. Let's not forget about CAS for today, guys. I get you. This is one thing that I can say. Some people, and this is like no shots against anybody, but like I've owned Bitcoin, for a long time. And, I saw CASPA and I'm like, why would anybody be against CASPA unless it's against the narrative? And I didn't really see CASPA as a threat to Bitcoin. Like a lot of Bitcoin maxis, like back in the day, like you could call me a Bitcoin maxi because I wanted to tell everybody just about Bitcoin. So you could say I was a Bitcoin maxi, but I realized that I wasn't going to make as much that I can make on some of these altcoins, because there was some altcoins that I did extremely well with over the years. I actually have a list. Let me see here if I can get the list here. So some of the ones that I invested in, it's like ETH came out like 2015, so later 2015. XRP wasn't around for the initial investment of that. XMR, Xcoin. Some people probably don't know what those are, but Doge was around for that. But definitely reinvest in Doge. But I don't see why CASPA has been such a controversial. Now, when I look at CASPA, there has been a few controversial takes on CASPA, and that was like CASPA, the Satoshi aspect of the founders just kind of poof disappearing. That factor was kind of questioned with some of the with Shy. I love Shy. Me and Shy have had conversations. Shy, shout out to you if you watch this. I've talked to you more than a few times, and we talked about kind of that situation that you've had with some of the issues that you've had, and some people provoking you and different things like that. And there's also been a lot of people that try to provoke people to kind of get. Have you guys ever heard bad publicity, good publicity? All publicity is good publicity. So there'll be some people that'll really try hard and say a lot of bad things about CASPA just to get noticed by CASPA. I think Cubic was one of those ones. I did want to hear from the group sometime about their thoughts on Cubic. I've heard a lot about it. I'm not sold, but I do know the founder. He's been around. He has been involved, I believe. There was one cryptocurrency, IOTA, I believe he was involved in. I haven't kept up with him, but he has been around. But no, I'm not invested in Cubic. But CASPA, okay, has recently closed above that key resistance at that 10 cents. And this hopefully will lead to a bullish continuation. Guys, if you notice on the CASPA chart, I want to bring this in, okay? What do you guys notice here? Do you know if I actually corresponded this to FOMC meetings? It's almost to the T. This downward sloping resistance, so like literally FOMC. CASPA, what brought my attention to CASPA down here was its reaction to FOMC. I'd have to overlay, and I'll have to bring TradingView up for that, but I'll have to overlay the FOMC data. But CASPA is super reactive to monetary policy. And once we can break this downward sloping resistance, okay, all bets are off for CASPA. CASPA is a proof of work. I love that, first of all, because I love proof of work. For anybody that's out there, like, I found that proof of work being Bitcoin. I have owned Litecoin, have owned XMR, Monero. Proof of work has always, for me, been a great store of value. And for me, it's been Bitcoin. But usually proof of work and pure proof of work is usually a good store of value. And CASPA seems to be doing a lot. It did have its successful 10 blocks per second upgrade, and there's a lot to come. IGRA or IGRA, however you'd like to say it, IGRA Labs or Ingra Labs, has recently been an ETH. Circle was there. A lot of big names were there. And we'll have to see. Some people were like, oh, Tether will never be on CASPA because CASPA is not, it's a decentralized cryptocurrency, right? We're going to have to see if CASPA will have stables on it. But that would absolutely boost trading volume and fees on the CASPA network. And it's very interesting how Ingra Labs is kind of like a 1.5, as you could say. You could say it's a layer 2. But where it's using CASPA as its sequencer, it's a non-parasitic layer 2. So CASPA is definitely one of my largest holdings. Trading volume's amazing. Where was this trading volume when it was at 6 cents, guys, right? Like, you guys seen those pictures where people line up and they're buying stuff at double the price. It's like, why didn't you buy at, when it was cheaper? So these are some of my core holdings, guys. And I just want to say shout out to everybody that's been participating with me on these swing trades lately, and just putting in all the hard work. It's been absolutely amazing to have you guys on board, working with me. And just to let you guys know, every single day I'm on Deck Screener. I'm over here. I'm checking. I'm going down here. I'm like, okay, so what's popping off? So let's look at this. So I'm going to look at, okay, this has got the most action. So 401 to 500. So QUAI, I've seen this, man. They've been absolutely marketing this shit. They've paid so much for the marketing of this cryptocurrency. To me, it's overcomplicated, and this is why I'm going to say this, guys, is QUAI is not developer friendly in my eyes. I'm sorry. It's just, it's not my favorite pick, but for some of those out there, be that what you wish. But so looking here, Hash AI, guys, I mean, that was definitely a few people have called Hash AI. Titcoin, guys, look at that. $67 million market cap. Our team called that lovely, guys. 35 up in the rankings. I love that. This is going to be another swing trade I have for the group. Okay, I believe this one's going to have legs, guys. It's got a crypto.com listing. I'm hoping to get a better entry for the group on this, but this is going to be a swing trade that I'm looking at for the group. And yeah, so going down the list here, I want to go back here, and I want to go to 100, 200. So, okay, so let's look here. AOS was a holding of mine. Great tokenomics. The price point here, great for a swing trade. I'm going to be looking into that too for a swing trade for the group. Great deep in play, great volume, looking like a great swing trade opportunity here for us. I'm going to be posting some of those. And yeah, so everybody, I just want to appreciate, shout out to all the moms, appreciate everybody for participating here with me. And everybody have a lovely day. I hope that we can get some more questions going. Okay, great.
Anybody that ever wants, I know I've been getting to talk to the group a lot more. I mean, we've had a lot of engagement. I know these videos cannot, always meet every single person's, timeline, especially on Mother's Day. But you guys will be able to watch this, and I am going to be hitting us with some swing trades here. Be prepared for that, and I'm also going to be putting a link out here for our group. So if you want to come, leverage trades, scout trades, swing trades, daily technical analysis, live streams. You get to ask your coaches personal questions. These coaches aren't just coaches. These are people that have been in here for a long time, have done this for a long time. And one thing I can say is be very careful if you're watching this video of people that are genuine. I've always held the belief that karma is always going to come back to you. Okay, so like for me, like I'd rather be the guy that helps someone win than a guy who's selfish, right? And so in our group, it is nothing but people that want you to win. And we're sitting here like, hey, we're taking profits. We don't do the buy and sell buttons, right? We don't get 5,000 people to sell at the same time and tank a price. And, 90% of those are losers. We don't do that. We set our group up for winning. And I know everybody watching this live stream or is going to watch this later is going to know that I've put in the work for you guys. Over the past few days, our group has raked in money. Our group has, read the market, understood the moves. I mean, our group is consistently staying on FOMC data. Our group is analyzing constantly what's going on in the market. Our group is saying, hey, take profits. Our group is consistently working hard. And thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to be doing a lot more live streams, and I'm going to be bringing up some more things. So on the next time, hopefully we're going to be talking about some more swing trades and also some opportunities in the market. I'm going to end this live stream with one last word here. Is there's a possibility that we come up and make a lower high. With that, there's a possibility that we come back down. Okay, and in all probability that may happen, and that's going to give more opportunity. One of my number one rules is buy in fear, sell in greed. Okay, so if you're looking at the monitor and it's in greed, just back up for a minute. Maybe we could do some swing trades like we have, some leverage trades, right? But buy in fear, sell in greed, right? And that's how we win, right? We work together. We have brilliant minds in this group. And thank you for everyone who participated, and thank you for everyone that's going to watch later. We got tons of stuff to come. I know I gave an announcement yesterday, but I'm going to be doing some more of these. Right now, I am in Brazil. So this is pretty cool. We actually just built this had a guy come in, built this office, but it's not yet finished. But I love Brazil. Right now, it's Brazil's winter time. And I just want to bring this up. I'm not a flashy guy, okay? I'm not flashy because I don't choose to wear wealth around my wrists or around my neck. I have a nice shirt or whatever, and some nice, clothes to go out, and I have some suits in case I need to, go to a business meeting or some things like that. But I've come to realize, guys, it is not just solely about appearance of, if at the end of this cycle, when you make money, and I was talking to a group member about this, and hopefully everyone's successful. Success is not guaranteed, but if you work hard enough, it's almost guaranteed. And if you don't quit, it's almost guaranteed. So say you work very hard this year and you make enough to reinvest in the bear market. And somebody was like, whoa, is there ever going to be a bear market again? Yes, there will, in my opinion. And so you work hard enough to have some money for the bear market, and you do it again, and you learn from the mistakes. You work with a group, and you do this over again, and you don't quit, you're setting yourself up to be a winner. And I want all of my group to be winners. I'm working hard. When I say I'm working hard, guys, this video does not show enough. I am on the computer. I am analyzing trends. I am doing so much for you guys and for myself. I'm not just saying I do stuff only for you guys. I'm doing this for us. I am analyzing these markets. There'll be some swing trades posted here soon. I want to see how the market reacts while we're up close to resistance here. And after that, I will be posting some swing trades out for the day. Everybody have a great day. And I am out of here. Peace out.